In most river basins in the Indian Himalaya, firewood availability is so poor that it is viewed as a crisis by the communities. Women and children have to trudge for 4 to 5 hours foraging for scarce firewood, basically for cooking.
हमको 4 या 5 घंटे तक एक गट्ठा लकड़ी में लगी जाता है, वो भी चोरी करके लानी पड़ती है, जंगल बंद हैं और कभी 4 घंटे भी लग जाते हैं, 5 भी लग जाते हैं, कभी हम लकड़ी नहीं मिला पाते हैं.
In a situation where the people's daily firewood requirement outstrips the annual incremental biomass growth in the forest areas, the only logical solution seems to be the provision of an alternate source of energy. Over the past 15 years, Grassroots has been able to demonstrate the viability of an alternative by construction of household-level biogas units as a renewable energy option. These provide clean, smokeless cooking gas and thereby have a positive impact on the family health, besides reducing the biotic pressure on the forest resources. Depletion of forest cover also has an adverse effect on the recharge of the subsurface groundwater, which in turn leads to drying up of natural springs in the region. This means that women and children need to spend even more time and energy fetching water from distant sources. Fossil-based fuels like LPG, kerosene and coal are non-renewable and expensive. A large amount is spent by the government annually in subsidy and transportation of such fuels.
ऐसे वो महंगा पड़ता है, 310 रुपये उसके भराई हुई और लाने पहुंचाने में, और इसकी वो परेशानी अलग हुई. अब इसको एक बार बना लिया तो सुविधा हो जाती है.
Biogas is a renewable source of energy that is both ecologically sustainable and financially viable for rural mountain communities as well as elsewhere in the country. A functioning Deenbandhu biogas plant looks like this. Cow dung and water are mixed in equal proportion in the mixing tank and fed into the digester via the inlet pipe. The level of the mixture is such that the area inside is completely sealed and air is not allowed to enter into the mix. In the absence of oxygen, certain bacteria found in cow dung break down this mixture to produce methane, which rises to the top of the dome and is piped to the kitchen to be used as fuel. This cycle is continuous and a fresh mixture is introduced every day. When gas is formed in the dome, it increases the pressure inside. The increased pressure pushes down the mixture, causing the level of spent mixture to rise in the outlet tank, from where it moves out in the form of slurry. This slurry is mixed with dried leaves, leftover fodder and stalks to produce excellent organic manure. In colder climates, like the lower reaches of the Himalaya, the Deenbandhu fixed dome model is ideal because the digestion chamber is underground, providing good insulation against the cold. We use a design optimized for a longer 55-day cycle so that the mixture gets more time for digestion. Care is also taken to choose sites that receive at least 2 to 3 hours of sunlight in winter. We have found that while the production of gas does reduce by about 25% during 3 months in winter, the plants function very well, and a 1 cubic meter plant provides 3 to 4 hours of clean cooking fuel every day.
गैस में तो जल्दी खाना बन जाता है, आधे घंटे में चावल और दाल हाल सब बन जाती है आधे घंटे में, और चूल्हे में टाइम लगता है, फिर धुआं भी लगता है.
थोड़ा बहुत फ़ायदा है. क्यों? जब हम खेती से आते हैं, खेत गोलने चाहे गुलाई करते क्या करते हैं, वहाँ आके एकदम से चाय बनाती हूँ, और बच्चे कभी भूख लगी या लगी कहते हैं अभी 1-2 रोटी बनाना है, उसमें बना लेती हूँ.
In order to expand the use of such appropriate technology applications in the Himalaya, we trained young men from local communities to construct and maintain these plants. This has grown to become a dedicated body called the Kumaon Artisans Guild with over 50 Barefoot Engineers. The Guild has so far constructed 1,400 household-level biogas plants in 8 districts of Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, enabling these families to reduce their dependence on firewood or other fossil fuels for cooking. We have found that the critical factors for success with biogas are ensuring quality during construction and training user groups in the correct use and maintenance of their plants. Ignoring these critical issues often leads to the failure of biogas plants, perpetuating the myth that biogas technology is inappropriate in the Himalaya and elsewhere in the country. The main advantages of using biogas are methane, one of the greenhouse gases responsible for global warming, gets burned. Households using biogas need very little firewood, reducing the pressure on our fragile forests. It reduces the drudgery of collecting and carrying firewood daily for women, freeing up time for other activities. It is smokeless and thus has a positive impact on family health. There are no recurring costs. The cow dung used is not lost, as the composted slurry makes a much richer organic manure. The challenge is to scale up the adoption of this technology to help protect the existing forest cover and allow revegetation efforts to succeed. A 1 cubic meter plant currently costs 15,000 rupees in hilly areas. With per capita income of mountain communities being low, the initial cost becomes a major obstacle in the spread of this technology. Households usually contribute about 70% of the cost in cash plus labor inputs. Grassroots has been providing the rest through a small government subsidy and donations from civil society. At a time when the whole world is waking up to the realities of climate change due to burning fossil fuels, and there is talk of carbon credits for the reduction of greenhouse gases, we must look at biogas with renewed interest if we are serious about providing clean domestic energy as part of our Millennium Development Goals.